Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of CLG Faithful Podcast. This is episode 4, and I'm your usual host, Nefarious. Joining me is my co host, as always. Say hello.
What's up, guys? I'm Artrin.
All right, so let's get right down into it. This week, a little bit of a bye week in terms of League of Legends. There's nothing going on for CLG specifically, but we did have IEM Katowice, so be sure to check that out. CLG was actually invited to, but they declined their invitation along with the rest of the NA teams. So we're just going to give our predictions for next week against Phoenix One and Free SM.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty good chance this week, especially if the boys show up like they did last week. If we can get that great Stixxay bot lane against Phoenix One, I think we're gonna just crush them.
It really does seem like it's going to come down to our bot lane, but there's always the question mark: how will Smithy play? We know he struggles in this meta. Is he going to get another objective steal? He seems to do it every week.
I
And
know.
how is Darshan going to play? Because he has been improving, but we did in the CLG subreddit we saw some stats that someone posted, and at least in terms of something like CS per differential at 10 minutes, Darshan is the worst.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty low, but I think that's because he does a lot of roaming. So I think if we can keep Xmithy off of those just terrible Kha'Zix Rengar plays, I
Ivan,
mean,
Ivan,
I love the boy dearly, but
Ivan.
he really should not be on those two champions. And if we can maybe get Darshan on that sweet, sweet Fiora, or even that Gangplank we saw 2 weeks ago, I think we're gonna get it.
I want to see a Darshan Camille game.
That'd be great. But that's never going to happen.
It's never
Camille
going
was
to
an
happen.
instant ban.
Of course, and people will say that we also ban it whenever we have first pick, but they seem to value getting a strong lane for Stixxay.
Absolutely. Which is great, because when the meta's against Stixxay, he has to play harder. So let's make it easier for him so that he doesn't have to be basically the hero that CLG needs and can allow his other teammates to carry him a little bit in that early game while he ramps up.
Right, so a little bit less of I think who he just mentioned. It's a little bit less of who he and Stixxay versus the world, and more teamwork CLG that we know and love.
Exactly.
Right. So what are your thoughts overall? 1-1, 2-0,
I mean, hey,
0-2?
you know what? If we're not faithful, why are we here? You don't believe, why are we here? I
So
think we're going to go 2-0.
your heart says 2-0.
My heart
No,
says 2-0.
my heart also says 2-0, but my brain says 1-1 this week. I think we will beat Phoenix 1. I think against TSM, we'll get at least one game against TSM, but I think we will end up dropping 2 games against them.
Ah,
I think there'll be close games, but I just think that right now, it, because it is not in our favor, I think, and we did have a little bit of momentum going at the end of the week, but I think that yes, it favors us to give us a little bit more time to prepare. I just think that right now we're getting some wins. I just don't think we're quite there yet.
yep.
I
I
think
would agree.
that we are on good track to make playoffs, and I think in playoffs we'll be able to do it. We're just not quite there yet.
Yep.
I
So
would be pleasantly surprised though.
why don't we move on? We didn't have any CLG.Red stuff this week. However, they are attending. They are in Katowice right now. They are going to be, like we said, they're going to be Intel Challenge that happens this Thursday, Friday.
Yep, that would be March 2nd and March 3rd. So be sure to go and wish the ladies luck if you can watch it live, and if you can't, be sure to watch the games online.
Absolutely.
Right, so let's talk CSGO.Blue. The boys in blue played Luminosity Gaming. Tell me about the first match on Cash.
Well, match one on Cash. They had a great start. I think they were up like almost 5-1, and then it just crashed. It's almost like the synergy had left or something like that. After second half, they just got demolished.
But on the plus side, we did have Hayes and Kusta.
Yeah, Hayes and Kusa really showed up. Some of those maps, they had some amazing kills. They really had great plays as well, and showed that they could really, if the composition when they're playing together, it was almost just like this was a warm-up match, and they can really.
Now, speaking of warm-up matches, that was just a warm-up for match 2 on Overpass now, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, this is really where you saw the team shine. Bringing Hayes back in, I mean, it's Papa Hayes, right? So they had a hard start. it was 0-5, but then it's basically just like Hayes was like, oh, hey, let me just do Hayes things, and in an eco round, I'm going to get a 3K. I'm going to win round 8.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, right? Like, holy crap. If they had lost that round, they basically would have had next to no money for the next 3 rounds. They would have to have 3 save rounds. That means they would have been going in. It was going to be something like 10 to like something by the time they were done. But that 3K, man, that just turned everything around. In the end, it came down. It was 15-14. It was 3-on-3, playing an overpass. They're coming up to the A bomb site, and you basically got Kusta. He's coming around bathrooms. He spots out one of the Luminosity players. He shoots off a couple of Tech 9 shots, and he's like, oh crap, and he hides. Boom, around the corner comes FNS, or sorry, it was Cutler. Comes around the corner, pops the guy in bathrooms. FNS comes around again, pops the one more. FNS pops out of bathrooms just as Kusta's dying. Pops the last guy, 16-14. They take the day 1-1.
Perfect. And you know what? Let's move on to the highlight of the week. Let's talk Smash. Tell me first about Smash 4. Frostbite's happening. It's day one. Singles, Void and Natcat.
Absolutely. I mean, Frostbite has basically been something that's been worked up for the last like 2 months. This is like a cusp event for Smash 4. There wasn't actually any melee here, just because this is a pure Smash 4 event. So Void did really great in the brackets. He destroyed on his Sheik. Like we're talking typical Void stuff here. He's easily getting out through the winner's bracket. He beat Killa G 2-0, Nebula 2-0, he beat Nom 2-1, and he beat Supergirl Kess 2-1. Right after, Naka did just almost as well. He's playing as Fox. He beats Zith 2-0, beats Death Horse 2-0, and then he pulls out his pocket Ness against Nero, and he pulls it up to a 2-1. Unfortunately, he lost his pool's winner finals to Ken, who's a Japanese guy who came in. There's actually about 14 Japanese players there, which is the most that any North American event has had. He lost 0-2 to Ken, so he starts the top 48 in loser's bracket the next day.
Right, but moving on, we did have the play in the doubles round, and we had our Void Natcat combo.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, as their usual team up, they look great. You got Void on Sheik, and you got Natcat playing on Ness. It's beautiful when the guys are just rolled. They beat Dionysus and Josh. He's got a really weird name. Sorry if I've mispronounced it, man. They beat him 2-0. Then they beat Jello a mistake 2-0 as well. And then Supergirl Cash shows up with Black Twins 13. They beat them 2-1. Unfortunately, it's almost like Kameme and Abadango are like, they're just
Kryptonite?
They're kryptonite, man. Yes, thank you. It's stuck right on there. They lost to them 2-1, so that puts them into the top 12 losers bracket. And then they played almost right afterwards. In losers round 1, they actually beat Komorikiri and Renai. Again, 2 Japanese players who came in that people were expecting a lot from Komorikiri and Renai, but because it was in the losers bracket, they knocked them out. They knocked them out 2-0. But then the Japanese came back up, and then they go, oh, that's cool. And then they beat down Sue and Ken, those other 2 Japanese players, 2-1. Unfortunately, they come up against the guys who ended up making it to the grand finals, and that was Ally and MK Leo, 1v3 them.
Right, and ultimately, because to lose that, they did finish 5th place at Frostbite's Wii U doubles.
Yeah. So, I mean, the highlight of that day for those guys was on the third match versus Ken and Sue. It was 1 stock on both Void and Natcat, and they had 2 stocks on Ken, 1 on Sue. They bounced Ken back and forth, eventually off the platform. Then Natcat takes his stock. At the same time, Void takes Sue's final stock, making it a 2v1. They were down 1 stock, and then they turn it around instantaneously and bring it into a 2v1 against Ken, who's playing on Sonic, who's not exactly a really good 2v1 player. got close, but Natcat finished Ken off with his yo-yo off the ledge.
Man, that was already a fun day one, but we started off day two really strong too. Void did really well in the sorry, he actually didn't do so well, didn't he?
No, unfortunately, Voice started the day with a 3-2 loss against Sue, who he had just beat in the doubles the day before. But Sue actually later went on to take Zero to the grand finals. Like, Zero is considered the best Smash 4 player, and he takes that guy to the grand finals. Sue, like, he came out of nowhere. Like, no one expected this guy to do anything. And so
Really
Void,
tells you something how good he is, though.
yeah, this guy was amazing. So it knocked him into the losers top 24. Void started off and he beat Smasher 1001 3-0, and then comes up against the guys, his guys that knocked him out of doubles, MK Leo. Everyone was predicting this guy to just like 3-0 Void, because this guy is top tier Smash player. But he takes it. Void's up 2-1. MK Leo picks Smashville. And then it's just, MK Leo got Void's first stock, and it's a 2-stock game in Smash 4. And he only took 15% damage. Void then responds, comes in, and just absolutely smashes MK Leo's stock, and only takes 10%. Then, from 80%, he juggles MK Leo to the right of the map, and then platforms him right off. It was just amazing. He takes it 3-1 against MK Leo, but then he ends up coming up against the Buzz. And this guy, again, a top tier Smash player, unfortunately gets knocked out of the tournament 3-1. That means Void finishes tied for 9th.
Yeah, now next up is on Naka. He started off against Nam, didn't he? And he beats him 3-0.
Yeah, he did. He beat Nam 3-0 in the losers bracket. And then he came up against Ryuga, who, again, like all these Japanese players, are just, they're the best of the best from Japan coming over. Unfortunately,
really makes for a great tournament though to watch.
It did. There ended up being North America versus Japan final, kind of like grand show. That was just, it was amazing to watch. I really recommend going and watching it. He ended up losing though 3-0 to Ryuga, knocking him out of the tourney, and Nakat finished tied for 25th.
Yes, unfortunately, not a particularly strong showing for our voice, but there are definitely moments of promise that worth watching.
There was.
Right, so let's move on to Melee. We've got our North Cali Classic, and, we've got SFAT, the singles.
Absolutely. I mean, this was an event that was basically announced the day before it actually happened. It's basically a send-off to SFAT. He's finally moving into the CLG gaming house in SoCal. So it's the NorCal send-off for their #1 player. 11 other people got invited. That included our CLG boy Pew Pew You. You got Shroom coming up. You got Lotta Ladandus, Homemade Waffles, Nintendude, Fruit Loop, Azusa, Dark Atma, Zoo, Phil, and Reno.
So how does SFAT do against all these guys?
Man, SFAT is just amazing. Beats Fruit Loop 3-0, then he beats Nintendude 3-0, and then he beats Shroom 3-1. I mean, it looks great for him.
And Pew Pew You, right? He was there too.
Yeah, he was. So Pew Pew beats this guy's name is so hard. Laudandus in a really tight match, coming in down to the stock 3-2. Then lost to Shroom 3-2 in yet another tight match. And then Pew Pew You drops Pew Pew You into the loop bracket, where he meets Homemade Waffles. Beats him 3-0. Then he meets his old boy, Laudandus, in the losers bracket, and yet again 3-2. Then got to meet Shroom one more time. Says, "Hi, bud. I'm a 3-0, yeah. I'm going to get into the grand finals."
And this means, if I understand correctly, a CLG All Finals.
Absolutely. I mean, this is basically, this is Pew Fat Finals. But instead of being on the same team, they're on separate teams. 1v1.
So that means there must have been some amazing games, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a classic Fox versus Marth shenanigans. Lots of off-platform BMs. I mean, you could tell watching this game that both players were they're having a great time. But at the same time, every time a stock was taken, you could see the look on their eye. They're like, "Oh, man, that was bad. I got to get into this." But in the end, SFAT ends the match 3-1 against our boy Pew Pew U. Truthfully, it's hard to describe the amazingness that happened afterwards. So you need to go watch this final match, and then watch what happens at the end. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we'll be sure to link it for everyone in the description, so definitely take a look at it.
Absolutely.
But you know what? We're not done with Smash yet.
No,
We've
we're
got
not.
Super Smash Sunday, and in fact, this is actually happening as we record. So we're gonna start off with doubles, and you know what? We just talked about SFAT. We just talked about PPOU. Now we've got our good old PewFat.
Absolutely. I mean, what can we really say? These guys are number 1 and number 2 in North Cal.
They're just so good.
Yeah. It's an absolute classic PewFat domination. Marth, Fox, it's just, So they beat Cheesy Bread and Suave 2-0. And then they beat Tricle Man and Captain Face Roll 2-0. Then they beat Kira and Psycho Midget 3-0. That's the winner's semifinals, and they haven't even lost a single set.
Just from the point, I love those name combos.
I know,
Kira
right?
And Psycho Midget.
Psycho Midget. It's great.
It's great.
Cheesy Bread. Come on. Some of these guys' names, they're fantastic.
All right, but we're not done with the fun names. No, the winners finals, they've got Mac D and Chillin' Dude.
Absolutely. And guess what happens?
3-0?
Oh, you were right. Yeah. Another 3-0. So the Chillin' Dude and Mac D, they lose. They make it back, and they go, yo, we want another shot at you guys, PewFat. We come up from the losers finals, and they get the second chance against PewFat.
But so the 3-0 again?
Oh, almost. This is the only time that PewFat dropped a set. 3-1, textbook combos the whole way. PewFat win doubles.
Man, that's awesome to hear. These guys are just on fire when it comes to doubles.
Absolutely.
But you know what? As great as doubles are for us, let's talk singles.
All right,
SFAT and PPU, sure they made it pretty far, right?
Absolutely. So, pretty easy. Both of them make it out of their pools in the winner's bracket. That's absolutely to be expected.
Sure. Tell me about PPU first.
Yeah, so PPU beat Mike Hayes 2-0, but then unfortunately lost 2-1 to Lucky, who, as I look to my left, is currently playing in the losers final, best of 5. And then SFAT, we'll talk about him, getting him up to date. So SFAT, he beats Kira 2-0, and then he has a really good match against Chillin' Dude. But I think the most crazy match was his next one.
Tell me about it.
All right, so he plays against Army, who is a huge Ice Climbers player.
I hate fighting Ice Climbers.
Yeah, most people do. But it's the thing, because SFAT and... because SFAT plays so much doubles and dominates at it, he's used to having 2 people play against him. So it's just this great opportunity. The whole thing.
These think Ice Climbers.
Yeah. It's like Ice Climbers, there's 2 of them. There's Popo, there's Nana. You get to control Popo. Nana, man, sometimes if you're an Ice Climbers player, you gotta hang your head, be like, oh, Nana. But this came back so crazy. There were so many of the little grab combos that Ice Climbers can do, and just
wobbling. Lots of wobbling.
They just grab you, and then they just pound away at you. They can pound as long as they want, and then as soon as they're done, it's a smash off. You lose the stock. In the end, though, he beats them 3-1.
Feels good, man. Feels good.
Yeah.
But you know what? PPU, we said we'd get back to him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, PewPew then goes into the losers bracket, and he loses to Captain Face Roll 2-0 and got knocked out. He finished 9th, though, which is a great showing, but it's not a second place showing.
Right. It's not the top 8 that you'd at least want to see. Obviously, you went higher, but top 8 is that minimum expectation you have.
Absolutely. But you know what? PewPew, he had a great showing.
Right. But you know what? We may not have had a top 8 finish for one of our guys, but the other boy, SFAT, played against Lucky in the winners final. That was a fun match to watch, wasn't it?
It was, actually. We were just watching it before we started this stream. They traded the first sets 1-1. They both had some great shines and amazing edge guards on them.
Right, and then the second set, right, they came down to the very last stock.
Absolutely.
And they were both near triple digits percent health. And what does SFAT do? He puts off with a pulls it off with a clutch Foxfire edge guard.
Oh, so good. Yeah, and then set three was a strong start by Lucky, but SFAT really showed him how Fox's play was some really clean play.
And then set four. What was it? It's just one hell of a crazy finish.
Oh, it was
Goes
a
down
roller coaster.
to,
Typical CLG heart attack moment.
of course, down to
Yeah.
the very last stock.
Oh,
Very close in percentages.
oh.
What happens at the end? You tell me. SFAT, man.
SFAT man pulls off exactly what he just did in the previous set. Clutch Foxfire wins the match 3-1.
What a good time to watch.
Oh, so good. Oh, hey, talk about that. Right now, the grand finals just started. It's SFAT, and guess who we were just talking about? Lucky, back again.
This will be a good thing to watch. And you know what? Maybe at the end of recording, we'll just give you a very quick update.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. All right,
All right. Let's
so let's
talk
move on to
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. Yeah,
Yeah.
give me a rundown.
So COG Surrender actually played in the HCT, not HTC, HCT. I
Yes.
actually made that mistake earlier. So HCT, Asia Pacific Winter Playoffs, and he played against. Let me try this.
Yeah.
Shan Chiyu.
I think so. I don't know.
There's no way I got that right, so I
Sorry, man. If
apologize.
we butcher your name and you somehow listen to this podcast, really sorry. But that was a good attempt by us, I think.
But thanks for listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at any rate, they both enter the match 3-1, and Surrender actually ends up winning this. So he plays an exciting Warlock v Warlock matchup. In the end, he's done 16 damage by the end of turn 6. Ends up pulling it through in the end. And,
Yeah.
it's actually really fun to watch him play.
Yeah, he's like just he was the only one with a webcam that time, but he just got a really animated face. Obviously, if he's gonna play in LAN and he's looking at his competitor like face to face, he's not gonna do these like crazy like huge smirking grins when he gets that perfect card pull. But I mean, watching him there, like every time he pulled the card that he really needed, and the look on his face, it reminds me of Huhi.
Uh, all right, but you know what? Let's talk a little bit more about the smash that's going on right now. Oh,
Yeah.
that was the clutch play by SFI. Now they're both down to 2 stocks
Yeah,
each.
and we're down to two stocks, so it's like we almost might just do a live cast here. So
Let's
it's
go for it.
again, it's SFAT versus Lucky. This is the grand finals. So Lucky has to take two full matches off of. He has to beat SFAT twice, basically.
Right, and
In
we're
order
just
to win.
at 5 minutes and 45 seconds left. SFAT's got 101%. Lucky's almost near 80%, both at 2 stocks.
Absolutely. It looks like SFAT might lose his stock here. He's just off the edge. No, he gets back on, actually. He's at 136%. I mean, it's a Fox v Fox matchup. You knock one of each other off. I mean, that can be the end.
Right, and they're both playing on Dreamland right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is SFAT going to do it? Oh, he just missed the grab.
It was a good shield, though.
That was. Oh, he did get him. All right, so Lucky's
He's
just
getting
took the
about
stock. It's 2-1 for Lucky right now.
But Lucky is at
0-0
105,
though.
so
Yes, he's at 112 now. 120. Oh, there it is. Boom. There's the sweet, sweet kick. There's no way he's recovering from that. Oh, he let him in. There it is. There it
it was
is.
so clean up until that point. There it is.
Last
You're right.
stock. Our man SFAT's at 5%. Lucky's at 0. Oh, and he's getting his combos.
Huh? Lucky's at 31.
36. He's getting a couple of hits on SFAT.
SFAT's, there's the first hit. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, is he going to get him off? Oh, Lucky killed himself. Oh, he did a friggin' dive. He killed himself. Oh, man, that is brutal.
He knows it, too.
He knows the look on his face. You guys, you have to go watch that.
All right, so now we're on Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
Still both at 12%.
Just started this round. Oh, man, this is good. Oh,
SFAT's taking an early beating.
Yeah, he is. He's at 101% to Lucky's 32. Oh, he just got a nice dodge back on. Oh, man, he's doing some juggling. Oh.
Ooh, that was a big
Oh, didn't get the edge grab.
nope.
All right, come on, SFAT. You know what you're doing. Oh, Lucky got a good shine. Two shines.
He's really taking the edge right now.
Yeah, he is. He wants this. This is the grand finals. He can't let SFAT have his last tournament in NorCal. Can't let SFAT win that, right? No. SFAT's gonna dominate. Got
He's
the
not going to make it.
stock.
He's not making it easy, but SFAT's really
No.
high on damage.
Oh, there it is. All right, SFAT's down. It's three stocks Lucky, two stocks SFAT, 0% on both. Oh, the
Six,
windmills popped up.
just under 7 minutes left.
This can be dangerous. You can get some really good reflections off those windmills. Just kind of constantly combo them around. Nice. All right, I think we should cut it there. Otherwise, we're going to take us. This is going to be like a 45-minute one. I highly recommend though to come back and watch this. This is some fantastic Smash right now.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yep.
So with that, I think we're definitely going to call it up. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Check us out, on the YouTube here. We got our CLG Faithful, CLG Faithful Pod, and CLG Faithful SoundCloud.
Right.
Give
And
us
you
a
can also
shout.
follow us on Twitter too.
Yeah. All right,
So yeah,
guys. This has been Archon.
and this is Ferris. We're signing off.
Peace.